Good morning everybody, and a very warm welcome from Juma Game Reserve here in the Sabi Sands with Safari TV. We have some guinea fowl in the shot at the moment, and there is a hydida hiding in amongst them there. And it's promising to be quite a warm day once the sun does rise and warm up. Fingers crossed it's not going to take too long. I'm just say a quick hello from me. My name's Tara. I'm going to be your guide this morning, and we also hello. And we also have Herman on camera this morning joining me, and we also have Mark in file control. So if you'd like to ask any questions, then please feel free and email them into filecontrol@safari.tv, and we'll be able to answer them live for you, because this is going to be a game drive that is live. So we drive around, look for animals, look for anything else of interest, and we do that for about 3 hours here in the beautiful reserve of Juma. So do join me and we'll see what we can find. Now I'm hoping some of you may have heard some calling around the dam. Maybe you can let Mark know so he can pass it on to me. But we just had some monkeys calling at the back there, which could tell us that there's a predator around. Maybe there's a snake. But there was some francolins calling there as well. So what I'm going to do is drive around the back of the dam onto Mvubu Road and maybe see if we can pick up anything there, and we'll see. Otherwise we'll head off maybe down to the east. The lions did come onto Leadwood last night from the south, and they looked like they were moving north. But I don't know what happened to them after that. I think they did go back down to Gowrie, Maine. So I'll keep my ear to the ground, see if there's anything around there. Otherwise we'll just take it easy, drive around and see what else we can find. You just hear the hydida ibis calling. It says its name as it's calling. Hydida! Hydida! And some people say it's scared because it seems to call when it's flying, so it's scared of flying. Very, very noisy. It's one of those birds here in South Africa you will hear a lot and see a lot, and they tend to go to areas that are built up now. Morning all stations, Tara joining for morning drive. Good morning, not so bad, and yourself? Copy that, thank you very much. Okay, so we might just change our direction a little bit. The guys are saying that there's nothing been seen so far, but the lion tracks have been seen going west. So I'll do a quick lap around the dam, because I'm just wondering if those monkeys were calling for that. Or, as I say, it could have been a leopard, it could have been something along those lines, or even a snake. It looks like there's a couple of hippos there this morning. See the mist forming over the water there. Just looking for any movement on the opposite side of the bank there.
Morning drive. Yeah, just wants me to Nummertje, maar dat kan man gewoon. Dus dat is van wat we sneller close to the gate. Okay, like a person,
Okay, it sounds like there was some cheetah that was seen very close to the gate. Unfortunately, it's just out of our signal area, but I'll definitely keep my ear to the radio and see if they are walking this way. Be quite interesting, but we'll definitely see if we can go around the back of the dam onto Mvubu Road up towards Buffels Hook cut line, maybe down Gallego, a little bit down Voyatella access. It looks very, very quiet here at the moment. Doesn't sound like anybody else's alarm calling. I'm not too sure how many hippos are in there at the moment. It looks like just the 2. We have been having 5 in there the last week or so. It looks like there's 3 there. I just saw another head pop up. And so we'll be able to catch up with their antics after the drive on the dam camp. Sounds like Graham's out this morning. So he's going to be joining me this evening on the fireside chat to talk about the Gowrie Gang, his baboon troop that he researches, and hopefully he will be giving us a little bit more information on what's been going on. There's been a lot of ups and downs with the troop recently. Turns out Darth Vader, who he named because he didn't look like a nice guy, is actually what he, just to quote him, he's an absolute sweetheart apparently. It just goes to show first impressions aren't always the best. I haven't heard them this morning, I must admit. I haven't seen them this morning, so I don't know if they're still around here at the moment. They were back for a few days, but they do disappear every so often. They could have already have got up before we drove past where they like to sleep. They don't just like to sleep around the back of Yuri's house, in the trees there. It was very refreshing this morning, sure.
A warm welcome from behind the camera as well. I almost forgot that I've got a microphone back here. It is, as Tara just mentioned, quite refreshing this morning, and I'm really looking forward to the AM safari. Hopefully we'll be able to spend some time with some of the beautiful cats in the area.
Yeah, I must admit it's quite nice to try and find the boys. We don't know how long we're going to have them for. We've got some tracks here. Still going this way. Oh, thank you very much, Mark. Hopefully you guys can enjoy the sunrise while we continue looking for these cats. These look fairly fresh, and say with all the monkeys calling, definitely have to act on it. Actually, this looks more like lion. very, very large leopard. So it looks like there's two sets, if not three sets of tracks there. Can you hear the Franklins at all this side?
I can hear them, yeah.
Can you?
But I don't know if they can hear.
Can you still hear them calling? So somewhere over here. I'm not hearing them at the moment. Drive time. All your Malungas on drive.
Yeah, I'm running from 15
Look like they crossed here. Just try on the other side of the junction. There we go. Carried straight on. And remember, it's easier for animals to use the roads. Less energy wasted than trying to walk off through the bush. And if they do walk through the bush, they quite often use the pathways, so you can kind of work out where animals go through the pathways. It's quite funny if you're tracking lines, especially, they go around the corner, they'll take the shortest route around the corner, so they'll cross over before it gets to a corner. It's quite interesting, and then they'll obviously cut through if there's a shortcut. Are looking fairly fresh. Did anybody hear them last night or this morning calling? Must admit I was dead to the world. I didn't hear anything last night. Sometimes you will get the lion pride splitting off, depends on what they're doing. Sometimes you get a couple wanting to hunt and a couple not, so if there's an opportunity the couple go off to hunt. I've seen that a couple of times. And it almost looked like it was the point where they didn't want to share their kills, so they wouldn't even call the others to let them know that they'd caught something. It was quite interesting. They sat with the wildebeest probably for 2 or 3 days, and when the rest of the pride called, they would look up and look into the direction of where they were, but they wouldn't call back. I also saw it when they were trying to push out a young male. He would call, trying to look for them, and they just wouldn't call back to him. Oh, look at all these tent web spiders here. Able to capture them there. Do you want me to go back a bit?
That's fine.
I don't know if you can see the main part of the web is like a hammock, and then you've got all strands above it, obviously holding it onto the branch, but they act like tripwires, and whenever a fly or something like that flies into the web, it catches the wings and it falls onto the hammock below, and the spider will then pull it through the hammock and then either attach it or eat it, depending on what it needs to do with it. You get quite a few of these tropical tent-web spiders about. There's quite a few of them here this morning, but it's quite nice because obviously the dew is just showing them up quite beautifully. All we need now is the golden sun. That would be a perfect shot. It's quite interesting because with some of the webs, when they're very, very sticky, especially the orb webs, it makes you wonder how on earth they don't get tangled up into their own web. And there's a couple of tricks to it. Not every part of the orb web has this sticky silk. Some of the strands are non-sticky,